So this looks like a tank of a case. And it actually looks pretty cool from my perspective. And after using this case for a couple of weeks, I can definitely say with 100% certainty that the hard case is exponentially better than Urban Armor Gear's silicone case. Seriously, what the hell is that? There is only one drawback with the product, and it's not the size or the bulk or even the hinge. At MobileReviewsEh, Monty and I base all our reviews on actual usage, and with this Urban Armor Gear hard case, I had to take the lead on this review because Monty doesn't have any opposable thumbs, which kind of makes it hard for him to push the cap. It's very slick. Now, the one thing I wanted to figure out with this product was the quality of the hinge. So I popped the hinge 350 times, and then I dropped it 10 times, and then popped the hinge again for another 250 times. Now my guess for that is about 10 months of usage, with you opening the case once in the morning, opening the case once in the night, and then dropping it at least once a month. So yeah, my hands hurt. And after all that, cap still works. Now the one word I would use to describe this product is beastly. It looks like it can take a beating. Now that might be a turnoff for some because it does drastically change the look of the very slick AirPod chiclet case. The Urban Armor Gear hard case does come in one color, which is black with orange accents, so I hope you like the color black. This is one of the very few mixed material cases that I come across for the Apple AirPods. The AirPod case sits in the silicone sleeve that fits in a polycarbonate shell. Oddly enough, the cap doesn't actually have any silicone in it, it just has a foamy at the top. And this little foamy at the top of this case might be an issue. You'll see it on the drops. The hinge and release mechanism is just a couple of springs, which gives it that pop. The case has a small cutout for the status light, but out of all the AirPod and AirPod Pro cases I've used over the last while, this is the only case where you can actually push to sync up with your device, which isn't a big deal because you do it once, there's probably not a good chance you'll need to do it again, but the case comes out fairly easily. Now, as a side note, you can take the two pieces apart, but they don't come out easily, and it's just as hard to put back in. There is a carabiner loop for those who like to wear stuff on their pants, and the case does keep the click of the AirPods cap, and I didn't have any issues accessing the buds from the case. Now, I will note that this case feels actually quite slick and handles actually worse than a naked AirPods case. At least when this thing kind of like squirts out of your hand, you won't feel bad having it fall on the floor because of its relatively protective nature. Now, when it comes to protection, the Urban Armor Gear Hardshell case is rated to mil standard 810G, but Urban Armor Gear doesn't explicitly state how high you can actually drop it. At a very minimum, the drop height's going to be 4 feet for a device of this size, but it can definitely handle 5, maybe even 6 feet. I didn't venture it to 6, but definitely did 5 feet drops. Now, out of the 10 drops I did, the cap of the Urban Armor Gear shell kind of popped off about 60% of the time, which isn't great, but out of my small sample drop size, the case kind of absorbs the brunt of the impact, so the cap does come off, but none of my AirPods came flying out, which is something that I can't say for the average AirPod case. The last thing I will mention about protection is that your lightning port is covered by this relatively hard to use port cover. So yeah, that's not great. So that's all I got for this product. First time watching one of my videos, and to encourage you to click subscribe. This is one of the videos that I'm doing during the pandemic, which is me producing content every single day for you guys, because I'm bored, you guys are bored, Monty's bored, so let's all not be bored together for the few minutes at noon every single day. Now, if this video has been helpful, make sure you check back in a few days for the complete roundup. I do have the final ranking list. I just need to put it into the database, and then everything's good to go. But if you're planning on getting this case, definitely get this one over the Urban Armor Gear silicone case. Use my links. This video is not sponsored by Urban Armor Gear. The AirPods that I'm dropping are not sponsored by Urban Armor Gear. I'm doing everything out of my own pocket. Drowning iPhone since 2012. Real usage. Could you breathe any louder? I don't know who would wear that like that.